What up, YouTube? Team Movies here. It's Thursday. That means time to talk about the new movies opening this week. Alright. Now, the first big one is Maleficent Mistress of Evil. Now, I thought the first one was just okay. Didn't blew my socks off or anything. But Angelina Jolie was magnificent in that movie. But, yeah, again, she's Jolie. She's strange as anything. And I gotta say, the trailer for the new one looks pretty decent. And I mean, I've been hearing mixed things about it, but I'm kind of intrigued. But it's kind of weird that it's opening up in October rather than the summer like the last film did. But hey, I guess it'll give this does feel. I guess does have a bit of a Halloween feel to it. It feels like something that should get released around Halloween, so you can get all the females dressed up as Maleficent and all that. So I guess I could see why they decided to drop it around October. Now, believe it or not, the film was supposed to come out next summer, believe it or not. It was supposed to come out, in May of next year. But it looks like Disney had a lot of confidence, so they moved it from next year to October of this year. So, studio has very much a confidence of a film when they move a film up, from further to earlier. So, anyway. Alright. Also at this week, now this I'm actually seeing tomorrow, and that is Zombieland Double Tap. Now, the first Zombieland I really got a kick out of. And so now we got a sequel coming out 10 years later. You got Rupert Fleischer returning to direct, Woody Harrelson, Emma Stone, Jesse Eisenberg, and Abigail Breslin all are back. I think the trailers for this new one has looked really fun, looks entertaining, looks funny. I'm really looking forward for it. And I have my review for this tomorrow, so. Alright. Man, my anticipated film of the week is not even playing around me, and that is Jojo Rabbit. This is actually my anticipated movie of the week, as a matter of fact. Jojo Rabbit, directed by Taika Waititi, starring Taika Waititi as Adolf Hitler. It looks great. You got Scarlett Johansson in this, the girl from that Ben Foster movie, Leave No Trace. I think she's a pretty good actress. You got Stephen Merchant, Rebel Wilson. The trailers have looked really funny. Looks pretty charming at times too. I think this looks really great, and I hope it gets I think it's gonna get released wider the next couple of weeks. So hopefully I'll have a chance to see it because I really want to see Jojo Rabbit. It looks amazing. All right. Also at this week, it's A24's new horror film, The Lighthouse, starring our new Batman himself, Robert Pattinson, alongside William Dafoe, directed by Robert Eggers. Now, funny, I did not really like The Witch at all. I just kind of thought The Witch was boring, bland. Despite Anya Taylor-Joy being great in that movie, I really did not care for The Witch at all. I mean, I know that's unpopular to say because lots of people love The Witch. Me, I couldn't really get into it. The Lighthouse, on the other hand, the trailers for this have looked amazing. I mean, Robert Pattinson looks great. William Dafoe looks amazing. I love the black and white feel to it. This literally looks like a movie that was shot in the 1950s. This literally looks like a 1950s film type film. And you're not wait to see this. And who does love a good movie set on a lighthouse? I mean, come on. Alright. Also opening this week, there's a film called Trek, which is a slasher horror film. And you know how much I'm a sucker for those. It takes place on Halloween night in 2015, and Patrick Trick Weaver ends up massacring his classmates at a costume party. And so, after being arrested, he ends up managing to escape police custody, but not before he being shot 5 times by Detective Mike Denver, played by Omar Epps. And so, everyone believes that Trick is must be dead, but when a mass killer reappears the following Halloween, everyone figured out that probably that same guy who's going around doing the killing. Now, Trick is directed by Patrick Lesser, who directed My Bloody Valentine, which I love My Bloody Valentine. He also did Drive Angry. with Nick Cage. I really got a kick out of Drive Angry. This looks cool. You know, I'm a sucker for slasher movies, so there's that. You know, you got two actors from Screamers in this. You got Omar Epps, and you got Jamie Kennedy. Come on, Randy, people. I think this looks really cool. You know, I'm kind of really intrigued by it. So, and it's opening around the mix of Halloween, so why not? All right. Also, out this week, there's a film called Greener Grass, which takes place in like a Dago colored Bizarro version of suburbia, where adults who wear braces on their already straight teeth and everyone else to drive golf carts, and children magically turns into golden retrievers, soccer moms, and best. And you also got best friends Jill, played by Jocelyn Bower, and Lisa, played by Dawn Leo, who are like locked in a possessive, aggressive battle of the wills that takes a turn into a sinister when like Lisa begins systematically taking over every aspect of Jill's life. And so like you also got a psycho yoga teacher killer who's also on the loose. And so like Jill's husband, played by Beck Bennett, has also developed a curious taste for like pool water. And it literally sounds like they put a great way. It's like Stepford Wives on crack. That's what it literally sounds like. And this seems weird. You know, a few other people in this. You also got D.R.C. Carden from The Good Places in this. Dot Marie Jones from Glee fame. And Winnie the Pooh himself, Jim Cummings, is in this. So there's that. This looks very weird. And I do like weird at times. So why not? Alright, also out this week is a film called Cyrano, My Love, which is a French film. And it takes place in the summer of in December 1897 in Paris. Edmond Rostand is not yet dirty, but like already has but Edmond already has two children and too much anxiety, and he has also not written anything for 2 years, and so like he pretty much ends up. So it's pretty much about the writer of Cyrano, the Bergerac, you know, the guy with the long nose. Now, there's been so many cool Cyrano adaptations, but my favorite incarnation of Cyrano is the Steve Martin film Roxanne. That movie is great. And so this is pretty much about like the romance between the author and like his dead wife and all. I think this looks pretty interesting. I mean, you know, I've seen. I never really read like a Cyrano before, but I have like seen a couple of incarnations of it, and Cyrano's an interesting character. Like they should revive Cyrano for another generation, but this could be interesting. All right. Okay. Also out this week, there's a nature documentary called The Elephant Queen, where this elephant named Aphanina is a mother who will do everything in her power to protect her herd when they are forced to leave their water hole and embark on a epic journey across the African savannah in a tale of love, loss, and coming home.
Up there? What street? Up there. Up there, he said it's up there. Yeah, but they don't have a note up there where it's at. That's the problem. That's why.
Alright, sorry about that, guys. Anywho, yeah, the Elephant Queen. You know, it's not really. It is being released by Apple and A24, so there's that. And it's being narrated by Chiwetel Ejiofor. So there's actually Chiwetel Ejiofor has two movies out this week, by the way. He's in Maleficent, Mistress of Evil, and he's in The Elephant Queen. And this is supposed to be one of like a team up between Apple and A24, which cool right there. I mean, and Apple doesn't really launch until like November, so this is only going to select theaters this week, and it's going to hit Apple on November 1st. So yeah, but anyway. Also at this week, there's a documentary called Finland, which is a celebration of a place. and its people and their music fillers and pickers pass their uplifting music from one generation to the next, keeping old time and bluegrass alive in the Appalachian Mountains. This could be interesting. I mean, I don't know much about it. So. And there's also the documentary The Cave, which is about the Thai boys soccer team who. It's of course the story of that came out last year about the Thai boys soccer team who ends up being trapped in a cave while being rescued by workers who are like trying to scramble to save them. Like that was a big topic of last year, and there actually did a couple of films adaptations of it too. But this is supposed to be like a National Geographic thing. This looks really interesting. I mean, it looks like it's gonna be a tense documentary to watch. But it's supposed to like feature like interviews with the soccer team and the workers and all. This could be pretty interesting. I mean, I do love me a good documentary like this. So, all right. Also, out this week, there is a film called Miss Virginia, which is based on the true story of Miss Virginia, and it stars Uzo Aduba, who is a single mother who is like losing her 15-year-old son onto the rough streets of Washington D.C. and unwilling to see him drop in the drugs. She places him in a private school, but when she can't afford the tuition, she ends up launching a movement to change the system and is destroying him and dousing like him. And she ends up being attacked and drained to those who like don't want change, from the corrupt politicians to local drug lords. Virginia must discover depths of strength that she never knew she had in her. Now, this looks pretty interesting. I mean, Uzo Aduba, of course, you guys know she plays Crazy Eyes on Orange and Black. Now, since Orange and Black just ended, I'm really curious to see what else she'll do outside of Orange fame. And Miss Virginia, I think, looks real it could be something that really puts her into a film stardom. And hopefully, I'm right because I think she was great on Orange and Black. So they should do a spin-off of her, by the way. Anyway, also out this week, there's a film called Closer, which here's what this is about. Following her mother's funeral and recently ended a relationship, Nina flies to LA to find her sister who has gone missing. So she has to try to find her sister-in-law. And it stars Cynthia Adai Robinson, who of course is best known for playing Amanda Waller on CW's Arrow. She was great as Amanda Waller. I wonder if she's going to reprise her role in the finale. But anyway. Yeah, Closure seems pretty interesting, so I'll probably give this one a shot. Alright. Oh, there's also some film called Trash the Road, which I don't know much about. Some film called Immortal Hero. There's a film called The Captain, which I never really heard before. And there's a couple of interesting stuff coming to Netflix. Now, The Laundromat, which had like a limited theatrical run in September, that is coming to Netflix this week, and it's directed by Steven Soderbergh. It's about the Panama Papers, starring Meryl Streep, Gary Oldman, Antonio Banderas, David Schwimmer, Big Bang Girl, Melissa Ross. Some pretty good actors on this. And the reviews hasn't really been the best, so yeah. But hey, it's Meryl Streep, Gary Oldman, Antonio Banderas, directed by Steven Soderbergh. Sign me up. That alone has me intrigued. Alright. Also on Netflix this week is the horror film called Eli, which is the story of a young boy who's plagued with an unknown debilitating illness that requires him to live completely sealed off from the outside world. Boy in the plastic bubble, anyone? Anyway. And so his parents end up putting their trust in his life in the hands of a doctor whose experimental, cutting-edge treatment may hold Eli's last hope. As Eli undergoes the intense process that could potentially cure him, he begins to be haunted by experiences that make him question who he can trust. Now, it stars Sadie Sink from Stranger Things fame, Got Kelly Raleigh from Yellowstone. Max Martinez in this. Charlie Shotwell. Lily Taylor. It is also directed by Sister Chu director Saran Foy. So yeah, I did not like Sister Chu at all. Now the trailer for this looked pretty creepy. I mean, it could easily be another Netflix dumpster fire. I mean, not everything Netflix puts out are usually the best. And surprising enough, lots of people haven't even heard of this movie, and Netflix once again did a good job at hiding the promotion for this. So yeah, but Eli I think looks like it could be pretty promising, and also I'll probably give this one a shot. But let me leave it to you guys. Which of these are you interested in watching? Are you interested in Maleficent? Are you interested in Jojo Rabbit, Zombieland 2, Eli, The Laundromat, etc.? Drop a comment below. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that bell for more notifications. This here is T Movie signing off.